Hello, friends and fellow admirers of James Taylor. It's Jimmy Buffett from the other side of America. Unfortunately, I couldn't be at this great tribute to my old pal JT tonight, but I thought I would video in my part. I guess we are folk singers and wear that F word proudly. You got to start somewhere, so for us, I think that the first similarity I recognize is this young, angry folk singer with long hair phase. That must have been back somewhere in the late 60s or early 70s. And fortunately, people actually liked what we did, and we were able to make it to what I call the next phase of success for folk singers, which is the young, angry folk singer with mustache phase. Fortunately for us, the years were kind to us in the 70s, and all of a sudden we made it to the point where we actually went home with a little money from those gigs and got us to what I call the shared young, angry folk singer with a propensity for old beat-up pickup truck phase. Then comes the not-so-long hair portions of our lives. As James once said to me, one day he woke up and looked at the top of his head and someone had stolen his hair. I don't know if he ever wrote a song about that, but it still could be one. And if we don't do it, there sure are a hell of a lot of people out there in Nashville who will copy us. So we get to the next phase, which is that not so young and angry folk singers on the cover of the Rolling Stone phase. After the cover of Rolling Stone, what do? Well, for us, I think it was we either had to clean up or die. So it brings us to what I consider the next phase of the not so young and angry, slightly balding, middle-aged folk singers who are having to work out. Fortunately, the exercise seems to work and has gotten us to another benchmark in success, which would be the middle-aged, not so angry folk singers with big statues in their hands. That's about 30 years in a nutshell, and though these pictures represent a lot of amusing looks at a road well traveled, I think the most important thing to me is we are still and have been friends for 30 years. I was a James Taylor fan before we ever met. I still am a James Taylor fan, but the most important thing to me is James Taylor is one of my dear friends. Congratulations, JT, and keep on rocking in the free world.